Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Morcier. I wanted to come and say hello. I hope you're having a good day, spending a good holiday season. I thought I'd come today to make a little recap, to review this law of one, the law, the divine law, the eternal law of God. For it is an infinite understanding and principle that cannot be fully understood. Yet there are principles that used to be known on Atlantis, that the priest of Atlara, the Atlara priest, used to know and teach, so that people would understand and align with this law. So that, because there is a lot of misunderstanding within our society on how life, what life is, what's the nature of life, how does it work. And so those principles, there are countless principles within this law. I'm just going to evoke like 5, 6, 7 of those, just to give you an idea. But in essence, those principles are eternal principles. They will not change. They cannot change. So it is something we can rely on. It is not. So we have to disconnect a lot of old belief in order to replace them by this knowledge and integrate this knowledge in order to free ourselves. So the first principle is the principle of inclusion. It says that everything and everyone is included within life. It is, if you exist, it's because you are infinitely loved by the source and God and Creator from within your heart, all the way from the depths of your heart, all the way to the skin and your aura. Everything is part of this love. So in a sense, this is really where God is in the depths of the heart. And so this principle of inclusion also tells us that because life here, that we've been taught that life is, we are excluded from life. We have to fight to get what we need in order to achieve anything, because we are not part of life. Life is something that's happening outside of us, when in truth life is happening inside of us. That is what is called the principle of inclusion, and also understanding that everything that we see is and accept and we make real, that is in quantum realities. We know that we are creating and recreating our reality. Whatever we choose to believe is what life will make real for us. And we create and recreate our reality all the time. It's like if we live in the past, we may get depressed. If we live in the future, we may get anxious. But if we live in the now, in the present, we let go of the past and future. We enter into this understanding and this light, and we get a good, much better perspective on where the cause and the effect of things. We bring the cause and the effect through this principle of inclusion to understand that we always. The principle also says that if we exist, it's because we've always existed, and we always exist in one form or another. And so it is important to understand that, to know also another. In relation to that principle, is that in the society we are taught that death is eternal and life is temporal. When this is a falsehood that was taught initiated by the Anunnakis in 13,000 years ago to create a slave race, and we humans have believed that, and so they became mortal, and slowly but surely lifespan became less and less and less because they believed that. But in truth, life is eternal and death is just a temporal experience. So know yourself as an eternal being of light, and then tune into this river, this golden river of light, and drink the nectar every day, so that you can nourish yourself from that great light. The second principle is the principle of it says that all is one and one is all. There is nothing that can ever be separated from the one. The great cosmos is the great divine order. Everything is in order in the universe. It is just us down here. We have been created. Time and space are separated. Time is what separates things and event. So I said time and space does not exist from a paradise standpoint, but it's not really true. They do exist, but from a God standpoint, they do not exist. God only sees personality and evolution of energy. But in many sense, we want to know that we are the one. We were created equal to God, and it is our soul, our higher self, which is called our soul, that is controlling the program, and God is overseeing overseeing all programs and coordinating all programs. And we also have a soul family called a monad. So this principle of one unity is to become one with your soul in first, but also understanding that every other being are another you. They're just you, but they're another form, experimenting another cycle, another experience. There are some that are much lower cycle, and there's some that are much higher cycle, angels, archangels, and guides. And there are some that are much lower cycle, like all kinds of low, I mean, people that are really not conscious of moral reality. But in a sense, everything has a function for being, and God is using this planet as a school of evolution. So He allows all kinds. Here, it is very there is a lot of contrast within this life. So but we know that we are moving into an age of light. So we want to bring this whole program into harmony and trust that everything will be brought into will be aligned. Everything will be aligned. There's going to be a great deal of shifting and changing this year. Starting now. Third principle, so this is the principle of the one is all and all is one. It is something that the great philosopher Empédocle, pre-Socratic philosopher, had discovered that infinity was hidden within all things. All that is was hidden within all that is. So that means that if all that is hidden within all that is, the whole universe is hidden within you. So it is just a matter of unfolding that light all the way to the point where it becomes full of light and there is no more shadows. The consciousness becomes unobstructed to see the light. Third principle is the principle third principle is the principle of magnetic attraction, what we call karma, what we call law of attraction, what we call cause and effect. So whatever we do, produce with our mind, our words, our thoughts, will reflect to us in some ways to educate us. Well, if we say something, if we say do or think something wrong, and we understand right on the spot that we did something wrong, then there is no negative effect that will come back to us because we adjust and we realign. But if we are not aware of something, the law will find a way sooner or later to teach us to reflect to us all those things that we that we have been given. So in many sense, whatever we give, whatever we will be reflected back to us, and that is the way we are able to. The Creator is able to teach us. He's created this law so that everybody can live his life and learn from the law of cause and effects through trials and errors and rewards and joy eventually to be free. The point is to free ourselves through the understanding of love. The fourth principle is the principle of change and transformation. This principle says that everything is in constant transformation and nothing can ever stop from changing. It's an eternal process. It is the philosopher Heraclit, also another pre-Socratic philosopher, that had discovered that life was always in transformation, always in motion. It's like a river. A river is a river. It flows and flows and flows eternally. But you can never go into the same river twice because the flow has moved. And so it is the same with us. We want to move into this river. Imagine that you are, if you can let go of the mind and feel through your breast this river of golden white light and just drink this light. So in many sense, so everything is in change except God. God does not change. It is the stable point. God is the serenity within the whole process. It is guarantees the success of all paths in the universe. For if God was an infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite power, then the universe could not exist. So it is God does not change in that, but everything else does. And so as we move through the process, we accept the change and transformation. And in many sense, there is certain things that we're not afraid of change, but we're afraid of the unknown. And when we need to change, we have to move into the unknown. And it is often those fears are usually not justified because we are being protected by guides and angels always. So that's the fourth principle. Another principle I wanted to speak about is the principle of to understand that this universe was created on a single point of light. But then the point of light is there is a pendulum that is moving so that we can never reach that point of light until we stop the pendulum. So I want to stop the pendulum within yourself and align you to this white light that is in the center of your being. It connects us to the Mother Earth, the crystal at the center of the planet Earth, and to the great central sun above. And then we move into this pillar of light that surrounds us. And understanding that what we live here is on the cross of matter, so that is the vertical axis. It is through the vertical axis that we'll find freedom from all limitation. Yet we live in a plane that is horizontal. It's called the cross of matter. Once we understand enough of this vertical axis, we'll be able to infuse our body with light, and we'll be able to teleport ourselves to any point or many points of the space-time continuum without having to traverse space or to wait for time for everything. We'll find its resolution. Another principle is the principle of love. Love is a transcendental force. It transcends karma. Whenever there is a karma, a suffering, a conflict, a problem, if you can infuse love into the situation and love and forgiveness, then there is a liberation. It elevates and it stabilizes. It heals and so love is the most essential power that we can learn to use. Love, unconditional love. And the last principle I would say is the law of grace. The law of grace tells us that every being is unique, and so this law, this reflective law, this law is an intelligent force that is not mechanical, and so it always takes in consideration every special circumstances. We are all unique in many sense. In all sense, we are all unique. We all work differently. We all connected differently inside. We all respond to things differently, and so God understands us better than we do, and so there is always mercy that is associated with the integration of that process. And so those principles are important. I hope you will be able to integrate them. That you will you will know yourself better. To sign on self, be true. And once you know yourself, you want to be true to yourself. And continue to work on that level. And to be inclusive, to be loving, to produce good cause, to change with the change, to flow with the flow, and understand you are the source of the universe. You are the creator of all your universe, and anything can be changed as long as you take responsibility and move things in that direction that is more wanted, as through the focal point at the attention and the focal point. It is not we don't have much focal points here. We're not very concentrated. We're not very focused. So we have to learn to focus. That's why meditation is good, because we can let go of all those critical thoughts and learn to then eventually to move our focal points, the seed of our soul. We can do all kinds of things through that understanding. If we maintain a focal point long enough, it really helps things to get moving. I'm going to pull a few cards to see. So the past, present, and future. The past is purification. We've been through a past we needed to purify ourselves. We needed to cleanse ourselves. We needed to align ourselves. Now we are it is the dream, it is manifesting our dream, it is feeling our dream, knowing our dream will come true, knowing no matter what, it is important to cultivate the dream, to live within the possibility of something that is wanted. And what is coming up in the future is more trust. It's being more trust. As we learn to trust, things go a lot faster, and we can develop better connection with life and and with our soul and spirits and spirit guides. What we're working on right now is destiny. Our destiny is the highest path of joy, is where there is the most fulfillment, the most pleasure, the most happiness. So we want to follow whatever you get as message from within yourself. To see what you get. How do you align with it? And the outcome will be energy. It is the card number 1. It is becoming the one that is all, the one that is the creator, the one that has the magic, the power. So it's about balancing out all those energies, but fusing it within the one. As we let go of all the shadows, the light becomes sovereign within ourselves. This painting behind me is a painting. It's part of a series. For now, it's the largest of the most developed of like 5 paintings. This is the most important one. It says, "I am that I am, Gilles Mansillon." And then there is a mantra that was inspired by the gold ring. It was a series of revelations that were done in 2007, and it's a quotation. It says, "I am fulfilled and given all that I wish. In gratitude, I know this feeling of joy, bliss, and happiness is eternal, as I am always given light, life, and love." So as you repeat that to yourself, you integrate that. I am fulfilled and given all that I wish. In gratitude, I know this feeling of joy, bliss, and happiness is eternal, as I am always given life, love, and light. So it is a powerful mantra. It is kind of signed in the middle and says, so I am is the great I am. It's the Paradise Father, the Eternal Son, and the Infinite Spirit, but it's not 3 God. It's only one God. That is the great I am, and it's a great mystery in that. It is one absolute, but it is the great I am. And then here it says, I am that I am. It's the Father God, here symbolized by the blue flame of power, and the Mother God, the pink flame of love. I am, Gilles Mansillon. And so when I get a studio, I may do some larger painting on that subject. I'm going to pull just a few more cards, just to provide just little bit simple guidance. So what is the highest wisdom for us today is the limitation, is to understanding our limitation, not to create any more limitation, and try to see what we can do to transcend the limitation. For we want to get out of limitation, but we want to follow. There is a narrow central road we need to follow that leads to the little door. It's a little door, so we cannot go with a big ego. Those people that, if there are people that have too big of an ego, they cannot go through the door. We have to let go of the ego in order to go through the door, and then you will open to the great expanse of heaven. For it is right now we are like in the narrow road, and so it may be a little uncomfortable, but we have to be patient and trust that it will lead us to that doorway of light. What we need to understand is the karma, is all those energy, because we all had like life, many lifetimes. For most of it has been balanced out, but there are still things that we don't know what we've done in the past. We were living in a situation where we had great powers, but we had little consciousness. Great power and little consciousness can create a lot of negative cause. And so now in this time of transition, we need to align, integrate. So we, like I said, bring love into yourself. To just love yourself no matter what you go through. Love everybody else as much as possible. That will we are connected by those string, and so just make the string that do not hold grudges. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Trust that if there is anything that they need to learn from the experience, God will teach them, and so let God be the judge for because we do not have all the keys. It's about letting go, about integrating and letting go of all karma to move into love. What we need to do in order to do that is partnership, is the association with God, with the Creator, with the Source, with your guides, with your soul, with your monad, your spirit family, with the whole of life works as one, and the outcome will be the healer. So there will be great healing. There is great healing that is happening right now, and so accept the healing. You don't have to be perfect. Just know yourself as a whole. You don't have to know everything. Just know yourself as a whole. Even when you don't know something, trust that God knows. Ask God to show you, to tell you, your source, your creator, your guides. They're very powerful beings that can. And they can show you so much. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to finish with a little song, just to finish in music. It goes like this. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for sticking till the end. I'm going to pull one more card from the Akash to see what more or less cards, and of course we want to send. It's about karmic relation. It's understanding every relation, whether it is positive or negative, is serving a purpose. And so it's about blending. It's about letting go as much as possible to all those people that are not bringing us joy, that are not supportive of us, that are always in criticism, that are always creating weight in our life. Of course, if we want to assist and help, but there is no need to carry the karma of anybody else, and understand that every karmic force will work together to bring us into alignment with that which is wanted, which is the true loving connection that we are seeking. Well, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.